What could go wrong? You've probably said it, and so have we. But we've changed, and maybe you have too. We don't necessarily do the same things that we used to do when it comes to tuning drums. But does that make us hypocrites? No, just means that we're evolving. And if you're not evolving, then you're not changing. If you're not changing, you're not growing. So what are the things that we don't do anymore and would probably advise against doing now? Well, we'll show you. But first, some of these things really make me cringe, but since we can't go back in time and warn ourselves, we're gonna do the next best thing, and that's warn you. The first thing, tapping the snare side head with a drumstick while tuning. Yeah, we used to do this, and it seems harmless, right? I mean, as long as you're tapping lightly, what could go wrong? Well, if you've ever removed the tension of a snare side head and seen a bunch of dimples all the way around the outside, that's probably where it came from. Here's the same drum head with the tension removed. At an average thickness of 3 mil, well, these heads are highly susceptible to damage. Everything from stacking a drum on top of an object, or misplacing it on the snare basket, or even lightly tapping it with the drumstick can all lead to damage. While you might not necessarily be able to see these dimples and markings when the drum head is under tension, it doesn't mean that they're not there, and they may manifest as issues with inconsistency in tone, and overall just a difference in expectation versus reality when it comes to tuning. So what's our recommendation? If you have to hear the pitch of the snare side head, go ahead and tap with your finger. The pad of your finger is all you need. Don't use your fingernail, don't use the side of a drum key or anything like that. Just lightly tap at the edge of the drum head with the tip of your finger and you'll hear the pitch that you need. Your drum head will thank you. Okay, next up, installing a new drum head with just one drum key. This one often gets overlooked and, well, we've been guilty for years. If you're tuning in a star pattern and the drum head is seated, well, what could go wrong? When you put a fresh drum head on the drum and get the hoop on, get everything finger tight, and then start applying tension to just one side at a time, you're actually shifting that drum head over in that direction. Doesn't seem like a big deal though, right? Well, by doing this, especially if you're applying tension in larger increments, that is to say half a turn at a time or more, you may be applying asymmetrical stress to the drum head collar, and that's not great. Okay, we all feel bad for the drum head with the asymmetrical stress to the collar, but who really cares, right? Well, this can manifest as intonation issues or premature wear or even just failure of the drum head overall. But hey, drum heads are cheap and we've got endless amounts of time, and who would actually want to play anyway? Seriously though, a second drum key makes all the difference, and you don't even need anything particularly fancy. We happen to love these weighted magnetic drum keys from Evans. They're great, they're simple, they do the job. Next up, number 3, getting overly concerned with extremely muffled drums. While we weren't necessarily drum tone purists or anything, we definitely scoffed at the highly muffled drums of 10 years ago and beyond. It was clear that a lot of people were, and in some cases still are, using muffling as some sort of a band-aid for issues with their tuning. But here's the thing, if they ended up with good sounds, that's great. While it was super trendy to have dead drum sounds for a while there, and might be coming back again, and the homogenized sound was getting a little bit boring for our tastes, we're not losing any sleep over it. There are a lot of creative sounds out there that involve muffling, some of them extreme, and we like that. The worst thing is to get into some sort of a dogmatic mindset. The always this or never that crowd just doesn't get to have any of this kind of fun. Okay, next up, number 4, hi-hat tilter on the far side. This was a little bit more of a Cody thing than something that I was into, but if you pay close attention, we produced hundreds of videos where Cody had the tilter on the hi-hat stand on the opposite side rather than on the near side. While this doesn't have any kind of impact on the pedal sound, having the tilt towards you will certainly do a number on your drumsticks. It was actually after some comments here on the channel that Cody decided to switch things around 180 degrees, and as far as I know, he's stuck with that at this point. The key with this is really to just be intentional and aware. You might not purposefully be positioning the tilter in a particular location, but that's enough to warrant some extra attention. Next up, number 5, and this is a little bit of a weird one, but a lot of people do this, slamming the center of a drum head to drop the pitch. I've seen more than a few experienced drum techs do this when tuning, including an older colleague of mine when I worked at D'Addario. He had many more years of experience of tuning than I did, and well, I saw him do it, and I figured, what could go wrong? So I started engaging in this rather barbaric practice myself, and while it seems like it's a great thing, especially if you're trying to get rid of stiction in the process of lowering the pitch of a drum head, I may or may not have bruised a knuckle once in the process of doing this, and let's just say that that was more than enough to give me a little bit of pause. This got me to rethink my approach a little bit, and I realized that there's absolutely no reason to do this. If you're looking for this sort of an effect, all you really need to do is apply pressure, kind of like in a CPR approach, with just the palm of one hand. And lastly, number 6, getting hung up on the numbers. Whether it's view counts or subscribers or likes, comments, shares, whatever it may be, don't get hung up on the numbers. This was never the focus of our channel, but we absolutely paid attention to the view counts and the total number of subscribers, especially when we were starting this series. The funny thing was when we would take a stand on an issue or produce a video that went against the grain to some degree, and every once in a while some person would leave a comment saying, "Oh, you guys are going to lose subscribers over this," as if that was something that was going to make us consider compromising our integrity or the authenticity of our work. We don't really care about the numbers. What we care about is our message. The phrase "done is better than perfect" is something that's resonated with me since the beginning of this channel. It takes a lot of work to produce something, and I'm the type of person who can spend endless amounts of time continuing to polish it until it's just right. But then it never actually gets published. Being held to the schedule of needing to publish a new video every week, well, that was self-imposed, but it was a really healthy thing for the creative process overall. The concept of continuous improvement is also something that we held close, and if I look back over the years of videos, I'd say that we stuck with it. So if you're making something, whether it's a video or a recording or a lesson or anything, take pride in that. The numbers don't matter. The process matters. The experience matters. Keep making things. Show up regularly. Experiment, fail, change, grow, evolve. This is necessary. Keep at it.